All right, welcome back to the channel. I want to show you guys how to remove some signage. We're going to go from this to this. So let's jump in. I'll show you how to do it. First off, we'll start with the sign. So what I did on here is on a single node. You start out with the pen tool, and I just traced around the logo here. And I kind of lined it up with the edge of the building, and there's a little bit of like a brick-like pattern. So I kept that semi in line with that pattern. And then you go to the tracker and you track it forwards and backwards. That way your window tracks with the movement. And then over in the effects library, you just type in object removal and drop that onto your node. And that gets all its information from your power window that you just set up. There's a few things you need to do. I'm going to turn the node back on. First thing is scene analysis and scene mode. We're going boundary. There's a few settings in here depending on what you're tracking. I chose boundary for this one, and that kind of looks within the power window. And I left the analysis at 0. This can change depending on what's surrounding. So I didn't want it to look at this reflective glass or any of the windows. So I left it at 0. You hit scene analysis. Render is the end result. So I said search range 20. It'll move in real time as you move this slider and sort of show you what it's going to look like. I left it on linear. There is an adaptive mode, which works pretty well for shots with movement or lighting changes. I just left it on linear for this example. And then the last thing you do is the clean plate. And you can make an external or a gray image. We want it in internal. Then you hit build clean plate, and there's a toggle on and off to show you what it's going to be looking at. And that's essentially it. One other tip is on your power window, before you build your clean plate, turn your softness off. And that seems to be a better way to get a clean solid plate. Whenever I had softness on, it kind of confused it. So I ran the clean plate, and then I added the softness back in on the power window. And once you've ran all these parameters, you can go back to your power window and move a few things around, and it doesn't bug it out too bad. But essentially the work's done when your power window's as clean and straight as it could be. So that's how you remove that. And then I'm going to move over to the blur here, which is a similar operation. That's why I decided to include it. Power window. Once again, I chose a pen tool and just outlined the TV, tracked it to the shot, just like the prior node. And then even simpler, I just chose lens blur from the library. You could just type in blur, and then lens blur is on the list. Drag and dropped it. I don't even think I changed parameters. You can move stuff around if you needed to, and it shows you in real time. If you needed to blur out like a license plate or someone's face or something like that, a lot of times you get asked that in commercial work. And that's how you do it. So it's tracked to the little window, which if we hit Shift H, it's showing you there's the keyed out spot and everything else is left alone. And that's how you can remove the logo from the side of a building. As always, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.